Hello, my name is Rachel, and I like to share messages for the collective as well as my own healing. And generally, those are connected to happiness and health and having a better life. And I wanted to talk about, sorry, I was just outside in the cold and snow, so I'm a little stuffy. I needed to get out into nature today because I've been working out the last month, which is great, but I haven't been outside. And nature and fresh air is always really, really good for me. But on that little walk, I had a reminder or a refresher about, sounds like it's snowing again, or like raining, but it's not. That was weird. About how back in the day when I was younger, I used to think that happiness was outside of me and it was something that I needed to seek. And that's what a lot of people do. They seek externally for certain experiences or like physical things to bring them happiness. And what I have found is that happiness actually comes from within. And I've studied happiness. There are articles, I've taken classes on happiness. So I understand that you can't be happy all the time. However, I've worked really, really hard to create a life that I can feel more happy more consistently, and I have been able to do that. So that's something that I really want to share with more and more people because a lot of people need it. Again, I think a lot of people fall into certain traps of, well, if I have this job or this car or, this living situation or who I'm supposed to have as relationships, that'll make me happy. But everyone's different, and if you do what everyone else is doing and it doesn't bring you joy and it's not aligned, then you're probably unhappy. So again, I can only speak from my personal experience, which I say all the time, but growing up, I always had this sense of there's something more for me. And I know what that is now, and that is like doing things like this and continuing to do that as long as I live. Just reach a lot of people and share a lot of messages and wisdom that I am ready to share with a lot of people. But how that kind of like manifested when I was younger was, I'm from like the middle of the US, and growing up, like people are always in New York or LA, so it was like, oh, do I have to go there to be happy? And then like I wanted to have my own business so I could work remotely because I thought that I could like run away from my problems and I would find happiness being in like tropical places all the time. And again, I've turned all of that on it because in college I moved away from home, and then I became really anxious and depressed, so I moved back, and since then I have been working on myself and I've become the happiest and healthiest I've ever been, and I know that I'll never go back to where I was because of all that work that I've done on myself. So happiness can really be found where you're at, and I don't think a lot of people want to hear that because they have so much within them that makes them so unhappy, and like what I call big feelings or big scary feelings that they want to numb and they don't want to feel. So they numb them with nicotine or food or, pick your fix. They just numb them and don't feel them. A lot of people have a lot of grief and a lot of trauma and a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression and so many things that we all carry around, and I have not been immune to those, and I've felt them, and I'm an empath, and I can feel energies and emotions so very easily. And again, I've just done a lot of work to work on myself so I don't resonate with those low energies and frequencies and vibrations as much. I do have days, right, where you just feel dark and feel the heaviness, and one of my mentors calls it a timeout day, right? And that's fine. But again, I think I used to just feel like those would never end for one, or how can I make this go away? Because it is really uncomfortable as you're going through it. I get that. I totally get it. I've had a lot of those days, but I can tell you the fastest way to get out of that is to feel it. Like if there is grief or you've lost someone or something or some part of your life and you just choose to numb it and run away from it, it will be consistent. It will keep popping up until you really just sit with it. And maybe you need to cry. Maybe you need to be very angry, right? Like rage, Wreck-It room. How can you process that anger in a healthy way? Again, we're not really taught how to do that. We're just taught to shove it all in, and then it erupts in these very sideways ways, right? Hurting other people. So I hope that this finds you and tells you, hey, if you want to become your happiest, healthiest self, feel all your what I call big feelings. Happiness can be found exactly where you are. Again, I understand there's anxiety, depression, grief. You can do the emotion code. You can do emotional freedom technique. You can do energy healing. You can do a lot. You can start to regulate yourself, activate the triple heater meridian, activate the vagus nerve, legs up the wall pose, qigong, go for a daily walk outside, go get into nature. You can do a detox. A lot of people have toxins and chemicals and heavy metals that bring their mood down. You can start to cut out sugar. Sugar is inflammatory and just definitely doesn't make anxiety better. You can, there's so much. So if you want more one-on-one support with that, that's what I do. So let me know if that would be helpful for you. But otherwise, I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, and I'll see you soon.